Hey friend, welcome back to Mastering Post-Production Sound. My name is Joel. I'm an Emmy-nominated sound re-recording mixer and industry coach. And I share videos on YouTube designed to empower you, the sound professional, to navigate, believe, and thrive in the post-production sound industry. Mixing is subjective. It's an art form. And really, there's no right or wrong way to mix. But there are definitely guidelines. You know, often people will get messaged either on LinkedIn, YouTube, social media, Instagrams and that. They'll ask me, hey, I have some advice, I want some advice. How do you mix or how do you get better at things doing, sound for TV, film? And I always say the same thing. In order to get better at something, you have to put more reps in. But really, when it comes to mixing, friend, there's not set rules. There are guidelines. Okay, there are things you must know how to do. You use your ears. You know how to use, one of these boards. Some general knowledge, you should know that. But when it comes to actually mixing, there's no right or wrong way. The way I mix, the way my colleagues mix, when I mix with partners, it's different than what maybe you do or somebody else does. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek because we just got done with my VIP in-person experience, the art of film and TV mixing. This experience was really cool because it gave people the opportunity to actually get on a dub stage. Because here's the thing, I didn't get on a dub stage. I didn't step foot on a dub stage until I actually worked my way through my entry-level job. I said, I'm gonna do this, and I was driving a truck through Hollywood, picking up film, connecting with the small little audio department, and I was invested. I knew the minute I walked through those doors, I was getting paid to learn. That's what someone once told me. He said, Joel, remember that. And I was able to create relationships, and I didn't know everything, but it landed me a job at one of the sister companies, and it was an audio post house, and they needed a mix tech. Friend, I didn't know what a mix tech was. I didn't know how to do it, but I learned on the job. I had a good attitude. I had good communication skills. I was on time. I got done what I said I would do, and it gave me the opportunity to then be taught by other people. Having access to actual working mix stage doesn't happen these days, right? Unless you know somebody, right? There's not accessibility. And so part of what I've been trying to do at Mastering Post-Production Sound is create opportunities for people to learn in the place where we're creating. And this stage has been responsible for a lot of sound that we've worked on. And we know this room, we love this room. And so we got to experience that. Here on the stage, the credenza was full of attendees who not only got to bring in their work to listen to it, because that's the thing, you mix something in your bedroom, your studio garage, somewhere else, your little mix bay. You don't know how it translates to the big stage. Well, they got the opportunity to do that. They also got the opportunity to learn from a combined 57 years of experience. My good friend and colleague, Jeffrey Haboush, 4-time Oscar-nominated sound re-recording mixer, was here, and we got to talk about our approach to mixing. Because like I said, mixing is subjective. There's no right or wrong way. And we all know, right, the things we have to do. We have enough experience to put out fantastic sounding mixes. But the way we do it is different than other people. So today's a glimpse in how we do it. Here's some thoughts about, how we approach mixing. And so I hope you enjoy it. And stay tuned because at the end, I'm going to show you how you can actually be here too. Let's dive in. And when I first got the opportunity to meet Jeff, and we were getting to know each other, just connecting, because I think so much with mixing with somebody else, and that's really, another thing you don't learn is like, you're working with another human being, and it's like, it's not just you in a room by yourself, but we were connecting, and I found out that he mixed that movie. I'm like, dude, like, that movie had me like, oh, and every single time I listen to it still, I mean, you heard it, right? Yeah. Talk about using the space, the music, the speakers, and I want you to talk about this, but my observation and what I try to use now in my experiences going, when we work together and everything we've done, is to take those opportunities to help tell the story, but then also bring creativity. Like if you heard, the speaker and how the panning of the radio announcer, right? At the end, the crowd. I love that one. When the L train, the crowd, the subway with the crowd. It's just gorgeous. It's beautiful, and that's the thing. When you get the opportunity to work on a film, right? You get unfortunately, you get the time. You get more time than a TV show, right? Because we're gonna go into TV stuff later. But that's really fast paced. And what I loved about learning with Jeff was that Jeff brought a whole different mindset to my mixing. Yes, when I used to be set my backgrounds in preview, write it to the whole scene. That's it. Every just like bram bram because I'm like, oh, you gotta go so fast. But where I grew was from opportunities like this, where you worked with somebody who really taught on the job how to, let's bring some life to that. Now let's get those backgrounds. Let's create movement. Don't just have don't just let the tracks stay like that or stagnant. That's a lot. I love that clip because it's got everything. It's got your dialogue in the beginning, that sweet moment. It's got the excitement, the crowds, the crack of the bat, the music, the score. It's just really well done. Now
I think the dialogue was. Yeah. You did dialogue and music on that?
Yeah.
I think one of the things with the dialogue was you had this specific delay that happened when he says, Jackie, let's go. Like one of the people in the dugout was like screaming and it was close up on his face.
So good.
And then the last word he cut away and then like the delay that you had on it and the panning was just
so good.
Oh man, like it was really, really good. And it still cut through with all the announcer.
Oh,
going,
real.
Like the whole everything going. It was really cool.
Keen ear on that.
Yeah.
It's one of my.
That's the one I wrote down.
And this goes back to your question of do I do, what do I mix in these? I do the dialogue and the music, but in the sound effects world, I get to participate. Yeah. I say, hey, what if you guys tried this? And they're like, oh, shut up, Jeff. Go back to your dialogue and music. No, I mean, that's the thing that's so great about a collaboration. And
team sport.
when you work with somebody also, you get to know if they have the chops and if they know technically what they're doing and if they can execute ring it out into the surrounds and bring it around, pan it around the room and do that in 1 minute. That's the thing about, I've worked with people that are just totally just focused on only thing they're working on, which is, let's say, the effects guy, or there's a dialogue guy. Because I've done mixes with 3 people where I'm on music, the dialogue guy did not even listening to what's happening down here. And the thing, just, I guess a word of advice is, try to listen to everything that's happening in the mix, even if you're just, let's say, I know you guys do a lot of solo stuff, but if you have a partner, listen to what he's doing and don't feel that you're sitting there imposing or stepping on his toes by listening to what he's doing or saying, hey man, is that the reverb you're using? Or just those little kind of things like what Joel said, copy paste and just do the airplane. I said, guys, this scene's 3 minutes long. Take 3 minutes and shape it with movement, because that's what, there's a lot of movement. That's the one thing that I love about a lot of the mixes I do. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything, but
do it for you.
the shape and around words, and I love mixing music. Music's so fun. Getting to have opportunities to do different perspectives and reverbs and testing different things out. But you also have to be careful, because a lot of times, like you're saying, you get music delivered to you and you're not sure if do they want this, do they like this. You don't want to take somebody's stuff and reinvent it. You want to anyway, I go on and on.
But to that point, and I've seen this, how many, show of hands, how many former musicians or current musicians?
Yeah.
Okay, music is so important, right?
Always a musician.
Always, never, always. 100%, always. Thank you for correcting me, yes. Even though my saxophone is still sitting there and my flute and my clarinet, I still am a musician. Gosh darn it. And that's the thing, the music too, you hear that music and it just is so, it overwhelms you, it takes, the sound experience is 50% of the experience, right? And to be able to put those things together and help tell a story, it's beautiful. But to Jeff's point about the music thing, typically we're fortunate that, like Jeff said, they're recording these scores at Abbey Road, they're mixing them, they have the top mixers, who are getting in there and mixing those scores for us. The Sean Murphys, of the world, and
Dennis
Sands.
You guys are getting great ingredients to work.
100%. So do you think we want to touch that stuff? You're they know. I mean, obviously, if the director or something says, "Hey, let's do this," then Jeff will dig in. There's definitely and he has to be able to do that.
Well, you guys have liberties with you can send to the sub, you can add reverb, you can do.
Yeah, no, we can take license
yeah.
on something that they give
100%,
us, and you
100%.
mentioned a spreader, something that you use.
Up mixers, yeah.
Your up mixer.
I mean, do you guys, and you don't have to do that because you're usually probably sent.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not at all. No, they send me a 5.1 mix of different stems. It's and occasionally you'll get an Atmos channel, but all that is a microphone in the scoring stage that's up high,
Right.
and it just picks up the room.
I got you.
And then you could actually just bust that hard to the ceiling, and it
Your
just
object.
lives there. But
Oh wow.
when I solo their surrounds, there again, it's a more of a reverby thing, their own little delay. But for me, I have my own sort of built-in spreader or Haboush spreader, whatever you call it, that is not going through a plugin.
Okay.
I do something more with. I bring up some. I send like the wings, the left and rights of certain instruments. Could be the percussion, could be a guitar, could be I take the orchestra, the strings, and I have the opportunity to, through a send it to these faders, and these faders are bused to the surrounds. And they have this super secret little delay thing that I've got that does not sound like reverb, but it technically can print without phasing.
Yeah, no
And it
phasing.
sounds like you can get some more energy in the back speakers. And for me, that's a big deal. Now, what a lot of mixers will also do is they'll take their left and right panners, and they'll take the audio out of the fronts and pull it back a little bit. In fact, a lot of people do. You guys have done
Start getting
Yeah, like the 25%.
no, you don't really get phasing issues if you pan it correctly. If you do it to a certain point where you pan it equally, there's this weird little node thing that happens where it gets weird. So if you're going to do it, you want to offset your levels. But what you're doing is you're pulling energy out of the front, out of your front speakers. And if it's a television show, for example, people are listening to their shows on their iPads, their phones, their TVs that have small speakers. So you're sort of cheating that a little bit, even though technically they say everything that's in the back is going to fold down to the front. Long story short, I like to keep my fronts with all the energy that they can have, and then I want to be able to put some of my own energy in the backs without using an up mixer, because I've tried multiple different up mixers and
They have delays.
Panteos. Or,
Panteo,
Yeah,
Halo.
so many Halo. Yeah, there's a lot of
all of
cool
them.
ones.
There's a bunch of them.
Waves.
And there's ones now that work good for Atmos, but when I did my Atmos stuff, I did the same thing where I took my surrounds and
And basically-
sent them to the
okay,
ceiling.
right,
So again, I have control, because otherwise you can go into those plugins and you can sit there and try to manipulate different channels. But when I'm mixing, I want to be listening. I want to just kind of feel that. So,
Yeah.
No, that's great.
what was the original question?
Or
I
did
don't know.
you
We'll come
answer
up with
the
another one. I don't know.
Well, I absolutely love my dear friend Jeffrey J. Haboush and the work that we've done together for the last 9 years. We've been mixing together for 9 years on projects. Has been nothing short of awesome. I feel like it's a mini masterclass for me every time I get to sit and mix alongside Jeff. Well, if you want to go deeper and you want to watch the whole experience, because the whole experience was 4 hours, but it's currently being edited right now as I film this. And I want to give you the opportunity to pre-order a copy of The Art of Film and TV Mixing for yourself. So if you're interested and you want to take your mixing to the next level, maybe you're feeling discouraged and you want to be inspired. Well, friend, we're gonna play clips for you. You're gonna see work that we have worked on, and we're gonna talk about some of the creative process. If that's you, and if you're ready to transform the way you approach your mixing, and you're looking to bring that cinematic sound to your short films, to your video game, your sound design, your mixes, then friend, all the information you need to know is gonna be linked below. Pre-order your copy and do it now, because it's a very limited time that you're gonna be able to actually save money. Okay, you're gonna get it at a pre-order discounted price. After it launches, it will be up to the normal price. So my invitation for you, if you've been waiting for an opportunity, friend, this is an opportunity. I don't know anybody else that's doing this right now in this space. All the information is below. And friend, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's been so great to see the uptick in new people commenting and coming by. I really feel that YouTube has been rewarding the consistency of people chiming in and thumbsing up, liking the video, commenting. So if you're new here, I want to ask you to consider to subscribe to the channel. I think it's only 65% of the people who are actually watching the videos are subscribed to the channel. So click the subscribe button, click that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos when they pop out. But I'm just very grateful you're here. Mixing is subjective. And remember, there's not one right way, but the more and more we get voices, the more we pick up from here, the better we are. I've mixed with a lot of different people, and everybody I have the opportunity to sit alongside and listen and mix with, I pick up information. So friend, if you're ready to pick up a combined 57 years of mixing experience, head below. The description is there. Go check it out so you can pre-order your copy of The Art of Film and TV Mixing Replay. Friend, thanks again for being here. I'll catch you over here in one of these other videos or in next week's episode.